Hello and welcome to Game Brain. It's a podcast about our board game group. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me is Paul Satachi.
Paul Satachi, that's me.
What's going on, Paul? How are you?
I'm doing well. I have reached my 52nd year.
Whoa.
So
yeah, what did you do to celebrate your 52nd year?
my wife and I took some trips. We went to Anchorage, Alaska to be in the cold, walk on a glacier almost, but not quite. And we went to Wichita, Kansas to get frozen custard.
Fantastic. That's a great way to bring in your 52.
Yeah.
Is to go to...
I think that's what it is like on the list. Like, 50, you get a new car.
Yeah.
And 52, you get custard.
Did you figure out the answer to the ITA question?
The ITA question.
Which ITA? Which ITA?
Which ITA?
Which ITA is
My
it?
ITA.
That's awesome. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you had a wonderful birthday.
Yeah. The real gift was I'm able to breathe again because I was sick for 2 weeks before.
Tony Braxton.
That was terrible.
Yeah, I'm glad that you are out of your cold and you are starting your 52nd year with
Fresh.
better nasal passages.
Yes.
Fresh. You got that Midwestern and Alaskan air in you.
Yeah.
And you're ready to talk about all sorts of fun things. Today we are, first and foremost, be sure to follow us on Instagram at GameBrainPod. That's on Instagram. And then YouTube, we're doing YouTube stuff now. We're doing all of our podcasts now are also videos too. So
you can see this.
Watch us. You can see this. You can see all of this. You can see Paul's 52-year-old face and my 47-year-old face. We have a Game Brain channel, so go follow Game Brain on YouTube. Be sure to check it out. If this set looks familiar, that's because we're actually using my Table Scraps set, and I have a Table Scraps YouTube channel, so go check that out for similar but different board game content. Complimentary with an E, maybe even an I as well. I just did a video about all the games I played in November, which was really fun. So go check that out. Today we are talking about board gaming and the holidays, specifically the games that might be good gifts for people. And also, if we have time, we'll talk about some strategies for how to teach people games at the holidays, because shockingly, not everyone is into board games as we are. Yet. So we are going to give tips on what games to purchase and how to teach various games to various relatives who may be very impatient and may say the phrase we hate to hear, there's so many rules. So yeah, we're gonna try to get through that. But first, let's talk about some gameplays we've had recently since the last podcast. Oh, scheduling note. So the next episode, we're gonna do a review of the Old King's Crown. That'll be Matt and Jordan will be on that one. And then I think we are off. And then I think the next one after that will probably be a review of Ayar, the Fabiano, the Fabio Lopiano game. So keep an eye and an ear out for that.
And somewhere in there will be a best of.
Well, originally I was hoping to do a best of on January 2nd, but I don't know if that's quite enough time for us to be ready to
synthesize all the information.
Yeah, there's still so many 2025 games I haven't played. I was just on a plane this morning, and I was looking at the list while I was sitting there of 2025 games, and because I was like, this time last year, my top 10 of the year already was overflowing, and this time I'm like barely making it to 4. So
interesting.
Yeah, it occurred to me I have to do some more plays. But anyway, let's talk about some real quickly.
Sure.
Let's talk about some recent plays that we've had. Do you want to start with any game?
I want to start with Food Chain Magnate.
Oh, yes. Food Chain Magnate. Please, Paul, go on.
So we haven't played that in ages, and we decide we have 6 people. And the food chain plus expansion equals 6.
Oh, you're already jumping ahead in the timeline here. The real story is that friend of the pod, one of the sweetest men alive, Matt Corluca, had reached out and said, Ben, do you want to game on Friday? I said, let's game in the afternoon. And then Tom texted out saying, and I was like, oh, I already started making a list. And he had said he wanted to play like an economic game or shared incentives or something like that. Something, that would wet his whistle. And so I was already like putting together a little list for Matt Corluca. And I was like, Food Chain Magnate would love Food Chain Magnate. And then Tom emailed out whatever his list is, saying it was going to be the last game night at his office where he has been holding his
current office.
Current office where, I don't know how long he's been doing it there, but for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time.
So like, okay, let's combine. And I was like, Matt, you okay with combining Friday games with what's going on with Tom? And of course he's like, yeah, sure. And so we went over there. So we're all there, we're playing games, and we had done. You guys had played Wiz War.
Yeah.
Like you, Dimitri, and Tom. And then David, friend of the podcast, David, and Corluca and I had played Res Arcana. And but I knew that the next game I was going to propose was going to be one of the games off of the list that I was eager to show Matt Corluca. And you knew that Food Chain Magnate was on there. So hence, that's where the idea came from.
Yes. So it is my idea. It was my idea, i.e., my fault. They go, okay, let's play Food Chain Magnate. And I was very diplomatic about it. Ben, just so you know, Tom, Dimitri, and I are going to play Food Chain Magnate. We could combine if you'd like.
Oh, I didn't think it was like that. I thought it was more like Food Chain Magnate can play up to 6. Yep. With the ketchup expansion, Food Chain Magnate can play up to 6. Why don't we do all 6?
It's probably somewhere
all 6 of us.
That was there too. So it was a combination of those two things.
It was proposed, and I thought it was a good idea.
Okay,
I co-signed.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm not to jump ahead. Not a good idea.
Wait, not to jump ahead. Terrible idea. terrible idea.
So ultimately, because this is a short episode, we're going to truncate this. But fast forward to the end, we have two people who go who David Gilson and Dimitri goes, oh no, we've never liked this game.
Yeah, they actually both. Okay, so what happened is that the game is afoot. And Tom is doing a teach, and Tom hasn't taught in a while, and he is Tom is usually a pretty good teacher. He was rusty as hell, so I was like, there wasn't that spark. So already I was like, oh, I feel like they're not following. But I was like, whatever, it'll come together, because we played tag team on the side. Yeah. we totally stepped out of it, and then we started to play, and it was clear that people were getting confused or messing up with the rules. And it was sort of causing kind of a lack of focus at the table. And then you hand out milestones at the game, and the milestones are handed out at a specific time in the round. And there was the sense of well, just take it now, because
sure.
And there was a sort of a sense of anarchy at the table. So things were just sort of happening. And poor Matt Corluca,
that smile didn't leave his face, but
he was like, no, I'm having a good time. But I was like, he looks like, no, this was not his first, exactly how he wanted to be spending his time at that moment.
Yeah, I after playing that game, I go oh, this is a really good game. It deserves more time. It deserves more time than a night game.
I felt bad because I really wanted for Matt to see this game in all its glory. Sure. I think playing at 6 players is hard no matter what. I think if you're playing Food Chain Magnate with 6 players, all 6 players have to know the game and have to be excited about the game. And what happened was that after an hour of us or 45 minutes of us futzing around through this thing, it was really just there just was no momentum. It was just, and it was Dimitri was getting lost every 5 seconds. David looked like he was getting annoyed. And finally, David goes, this is why I hate this game. And I was like, you hate this game? He was like, yeah, I hate this game. I was like, well, why did you say yes to it? And then Dimitri goes, I hate this game too. And I was like, wait. So I said, you guys, we have to stop.
Yeah.
We have to stop because, and I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying
yeah, no.
If you're playing with 6 players, you cannot Food Chain Magnate, you want everyone to like the game.
I had a thought about after the game. I go oh, you know what this game probably deserves? It probably deserves the Ben treatment of 18xx intro, where we're gonna
just start.
Well, not just start, but
tutorial.
We're gonna have tea. We're just gonna play casually. Yeah. No one's gonna win. We're just gonna go through, and you're gonna see it kind of come through like a 3D stereograph thing.
I think the takeaway actually was this is probably the second or third time it's happened at game night where there's been 6 people and there's been this idea of wait, why don't we all play a game that all 6 of us can play together? And so we choose a game. And the thing is, with a 6-player game, it's a little bit trickier than just saying, let's all play it together. I think the takeaway that I had, maybe you had too, is that there are people of different levels and skills and experience. And when you sort of cram everyone into one big game, like a 6-player game requires a certain cadence and speed and like a vibe. And if you just suddenly cram everyone into it, it's got to be the right game. Like if it's one thing to play a 6-player game, again, when everyone has a certain level of interest or whatever, but like something like Food Chain Magnate, that is not going to be a every size fits all. I think like plug all 6 players maybe into a viticulture, you know?
Sure. Like,
but like I think that was the takeaway because that happened with Dune. You know?
I can see that and I agree with that. My takeaway was ultimately like, oh, I miss this game.
It's a great game. It actually makes me want to play it again. I want to play with like 4 players and give Matt like the proper introduction to the game.
Yeah.
Or he was so sweet. He was like, no, I'm having a great time. No, it's fine. And he may have been having a totally fine. I'm just projecting what, you know, like I'm projecting host anxiety. I felt really bad because it was a night of gaming that he had initially proposed, and then it just sort of got kind of like, you know, tarnished.
But you know, what do you expect from fast food?
Yeah, I know. Fast food will do that. I would like to talk about Thunder Alley.
Thunder Alley.
We played Thunder Alley a few nights ago at Candace's house. Thunder Alley is a racing game I've had it in my collection for 10 years or so. It's often considered one of the best racing games, although there's so much talk about Heat, Pedal to the Metal, etc. Or
Heat is also a very good game.
All very good. I think actually almost all of them are super fun. Yeah. I have found that Thunder Alley has been a very difficult one for me to get to the table over the past 10 years because the NASCAR theme, it has an like unofficial NASCAR theme.
Sure.
And that is not appealing to a lot of my friends.
When you hear NASCAR, you're like, doop.
Yeah. A lot of people that I play with are just not drawn to playing a NASCAR type game.
I will tell you right now that like if you were to say, let's play a NASCAR game, my response is like, okay.
Yeah. It's like, it's not going to excite people. And it's also a tricky game because there's a little bit more stuff in it than a casual racing game.
Sure.
There's also, and then like the NASCAR thing kind of like works against it. It's just hard to get to the table. So when Candace announced that she recently got a copy, I was like, oh yes, because Candace will get it to the table. Candace is good like that.
That's her magic power.
That's her magic power. So when she told me on like Sunday or Monday, oh, I just got a copy of Thunder Alley, I was like, oh yeah, Thunder Alley's coming back. And we played it at Candace's house. It was Yumi, Candace, also Lauren,
Francisco.
Francisco and Mike. So that's 6 people. Plays up to 7.
Matt. No, Mike. Not Mike. Sorry.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah.
And I had so much fun playing it. I really enjoyed it. I was so sad you had to bow out a little early.
I had a hard out, and there was a potential that I could have won, and I came in 3rd.
Yeah.
And I think that's fine.
Well, I felt the weight of the world on my shoulders. I mean, I think that's the common theme is that I'm a martyr and a hero, you know.
I say that all the time. When I go to sleep, I go like I thank God for Ben for all his heroic
sacrifices.
Yeah.
So you had to like pretty much bow out for the last 2 turns or something like that. So you were neck and neck with the leader, and you basically said, Ben, keep this car safe and alive.
Yeah.
And so I had to like do your team as well as my team. I tried to do my best.
Like Matt didn't do it. Matt didn't take over my team.
No, he did not. Okay. So I was trying to do it, but we sort of like crowdsourced a little bit. I said, guys, I think Paul would do this move, and everyone would agree. And everyone was playing totally above board. No one was trying to sabotage you. But like your car, there was an event that happened. Your car took on damage.
Oh no!
We were trying to get you to sprint to the end, and the problem is you had a car in the back that was just floundering, and I didn't make it. But you came in 3rd. I will say the game was better than I remembered. I had so much fun playing it. It's longer though, also. But I think again, like in the middle of it, like did food arrive or something or
no? I think ultimately, like it. The first time I played.
Yeah, what did you think?
I thought it was awesome. But I think it's awesome not because of the NASCAR theme, although like of course, I think what's awesome about it, it's actually a low-key negotiation game.
Absolutely.
And it's like really like, oh, you wouldn't think that this is the thing where you you be making deals with all these other teams, but like it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is because the game is essentially it's NASCAR, but most racing games you control a single car or a bike or a bobsled in the case of Snowtails, and you're doing things to make it go faster. So, you're just trying to make that single racer go. But in this game, what's so cool about it is that you actually control a team of cars. And the game, so as a result, you have a lot more pieces on the board. So there's more traffic. And on top of that, really the big shtick of the game is that proximity to each other really matters, meaning that like it's card driven. You play a card to move forward 7 spots, but that type of card means that every card in front of you and every card behind you is going to move with you. So you have these packs of cards that move on your turn every time.
It's like a Peloton.
It is. And you're really trying to, because you're in a team, you're trying to position yourself so that way you can kind of like latch on to a string of cars that has like one of your team members on it. So that way when one car moves, they all move forward and you can move your teammate along with you, but you're also helping everyone else. And then there's a lot of like, hey, connect with me and then I'll move us all forward. And like, no, I'm going to go solo. And this is the last time I played it had to have been about 8 years ago. And I've always had a really fun time playing it. But I think this was the first time I'd played it like with, I'm not going to say with like gamers because I just feel like having
people
having come this far in my gaming experience.
Love it. That's good. That's a great.
And it's not even a politics thing. It's like I'm not being political. I'm just saying like I think before it was just kind of like, oh, this is cool moving as a pack and there would be negotiation, but this far along, I feel like I don't know. I just felt like some element was unlocked for me,
like more depth.
It really came alive, and I think actually. It lost a little bit of momentum towards the end because I think there were some distractions. I think like
maybe
you had to leave. Food may have arrived. I think you had to leave, and I'm not blaming on you, but like it was one of those things. But it still was exciting, and it's a great one to come back to.
I love it. That was great.
Yeah. Any other plays that you want to?
Like there is the birthday Ito that
I think we have to talk about birthday Ito.
That made me very, 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 very sad.
Oh yeah,
because I missed out.
But you sacrificed for the greater good.
Like, I too am heroic. That's why we make a great team because we're both heroes.
Yeah.
So Ben had a birthday party. Everyone,
thank you for those who came. Thank you for those who came.
And like before the birthday party, like Ben texts me and goes like, "Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set up an Ito table."
Yeah.
And I go, "Okay, no worries." And then like mid pack party, maybe a little after the mid. Ben goes to me, now's the time. Let's do it.
Yes. Well, because there were all these different groups of people. So we had the Game Brain people there, we had non-Game Brain people there, and I also am part of this other gaming group. And I just put some little like sort of party and card games on the table. And I wasn't trying to force an agenda like, everyone, we're going to play a game. I was like, I'm going to just put them here. If people are curious, they're going to open them up. So my other gaming friends sat down at the table and started playing, I think, were they playing Flip 7?
Yes.
Where they were playing Flip 7. So they were already starting to play. And when they started to do that, and then one of them opened up Ito and started looking into it. And I was like, you were talking to my friend Sylvia. And I was like, Paul, I hate to interrupt, but you've got to
you're up.
Teach it. Like I wanted you to sell it because I knew like they would be the seed group.
And they were like, I think with any game, it comes down to framing, right? You frame how it's going to be, how the experience is. And like with Ito and like Wavelength, this is a style of game that I'm very passionate about. So I knew that I could do it. So here I am, I'm explaining the game and we play one round and it was a hit. And then my wife texts and says, okay, I'm ready to be picked up now. And I'm going like, okay. That's fine. And then the moment I go like, I gotta go, and you want to take over, and like I think AJ was like, me,
yeah,
and I go like, okay, well we're gonna be fine here. Flash forward like 4 hours, like Ben texts me like I'm in bed. Ben texts me like, just so you know, Ito was crazy. It was people. Okay, we've talked about Ito a lot on this podcast. I'm not trying to bring up Ito unnecessarily because I like how many more times can we talk about Ito, but I'm bringing it up, or you bringing it up, or we're bringing it up because this was a special thing.
Once Paul taught Ito to this group of friends, they started playing it, and people started gathering around the table, and people started watching and spectating and joining in. And in Ito, for those who don't know, it's kind of like Wavelength, but you're basically trying to put a bunch of numbers in a sequential order. Yeah. And the only clue you can give pertains to a prompt that the whole table has. If you want to know more, definitely look it up. But the whole thing is, at one point, when everything is locked in, everyone reveals the numbers one at a time from lowest to highest. And there's a lot of like big reveals. And you hear this crowd of people going, "Oh!" And it's like 20 people are around this table. And the party was like, let me tell you something, the party went off. Like there was probably like 50 people there. Like the place was packed.
Yeah.
People on the patio, people in the living room, and everyone. And you just heard all this, and more people went, "Oh!" and like cheering and clapping like it was a football game going on. More people start to gather around, people who are not gamers. People like, they want to like swap in, they want to get in. At one point, the game died down. I was like, "Oh, that was fun though." Like it had a good run there. Like 20 minutes later, someone's like, "Let's play Ito," and it came right back, and the cheers and everything. And there were people running the game, but it was also bringing all these different people together, which was so great. Like at a certain point, it was none of the gamer people. The funny part was that no one from Game Room was actually playing Ito. Like no one actually like played, which was actually kind of cool because it was all these
disparate people
from different groups playing it, and like it was so fun for me to see my different groups of friends come together.
Happy birthday, Ben.
Oh, thank you. It was really fun for me to see my different groups of friends come together to play it. But also, I think low-key, anyone who is a gamer or likes to host games, your dream is that you put some sort of party game out on, like you introduce it to some people and they lose their minds for it.
Yeah, and they moves on.
And like it got into all their heads. I felt like half of them were like, "We're going to buy this game now." But also what was really cool was to see that like, I mean, it was a banger.
Yeah.
I mean, you really cannot imagine how loud these cheers were. And at one point I thought, "Oh, I'm going to bring out Hot Streak. Then it's going to go crazy." But I was like, you know what? I don't want to ruin the momentum, because that's what always happens. You're like, "Well, guys, what about this one?" Yeah. And then they have to sit and learn. And
this is your game journey. You've progressed so far in your game journey that you knew better.
Yeah, I knew better. Just like let it be, let it ride the wave. But like I have to say that was so magical watching that happen. And like just to have all these people standing over the table like it was a game of craps. That's the equivalent. It was like craps in a casino.
Love it.
It was so wonderful. It was great.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll do one more. Is it going to be Ayar, Shinjuku, or Tag Team, or all three? Just kidding. Ayar, I'll do an update. We're going to probably be talking more about it, but I want to say I had a really fun 3-player game with Trey and our friend John. And I think the general consensus is that like Ayar is at its best at 4 players because there's a lot of interaction that gets juicier and juicier at 4 players. But I'm happy to report that at 3 players, it was really fun, and I really enjoyed it at 3 players. I didn't feel like I missed out that much by going to 4 players. Shinjuku, after you left during Thunder Alley, we played Shinjuku afterwards, and it was really fun. Like it was like super.
Love it.
Candace, Francisco, and I, the 3 of us. And it was like
meaty.
Like it was like everything. And I played so badly, but like everything was, we were all like, you could tell we're just like in it. And and they really seemed to have a great time with it, which made me happy. And then the last thing is Tag Team. I'm loving Tag Team.
Look, here's my favorite. Like Ben is really loving Tag Team. And here's my favorite moment of Tag Team. Like Ben and I are having lunch, sushi. And then the place is about to close, but before it closes, Ben goes like, "Hey, let's just play."
Because I brought Tag Team to a sushi restaurant.
And then I go like, "You want to go to your house? No, we can play right here." I'm going like, "Oh, you have a problem, dude."
I'm like, "We could play it here. This will be so lovely." Yeah. And then they were like, "Excuse me."
Like we're a third in. We're not. And he goes like, they basically say, "Get out."
Yeah.
We don't do that here.
They basically were like, the place is closing for lunch. So that was fun just to bring it to the table. But I've played it since we played it at Tom's. I played it with Matt Corluca, and I just think it's so fun, and I cannot wait for more expansion stuff to come out.
I think it's great / fine, but like the fact that you were like out of your mind for this is hilarious to me.
I know, I love it. Because I didn't get to play it at BGG Con because like just like it wasn't, it just like wound up in 4-player games. But at one point, Matt and Jordan broke off and played it. And then Jordan came back and we're like, "Did you like it?" He's like, "It was fine." And I was like, "What?" That's kind of his thing. But like, I was like, what? How could you? I thought Jordan was going to love it because it's like cards.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm like I think Matt really likes it a lot. But for some reason, it is like speaking to my soul.
No, I think it's definitely
so
it's hilarious. It's good. I'll play with you anytime. But you are I'm
at a weird space.
Yeah, you're S tier crazy about it.
I know. And then I played with Matt Corluca and we had this amazing battle where he just was destroying me. And I was like, oh my God. And but somehow there was some perfect things where I escaped getting destroyed and I somehow rebounded and I actually won, but it was actually a very exciting thing.
Sure.
Back and forth. I guess for people who don't know what it is, it's an auto battler where everyone has a deck of cards and you're playing the cards and you're attacking each other. And the cards can never get shuffled. And as you grow your deck, you add cards in the existing order. And there's more stuff to it than that. But if you're wondering, what does it mean you're losing health? That's what that's all about. And it takes 10 minutes to play a game.
Yep.
I just I'm obsessed.
I'm
literally obsessed with this stupid game.
I say all the time, I come to great game night to watch people lose their minds. And normally it's in the negative way where they spiral and they start. But this is the first time I go oh, this is a upward spiral. I'm
in an upward air vent. Yeah, I really love it. So definitely check that one out. So yeah, those were some really fun plays recently since the last podcast that the two of us have had. But now is it time to do the Game Brain holiday? I wish we had a Game Brain holiday jingle. Maybe I'll make one up and then insert it right here.
So everyone listen to the jingle right
now.
Gather round for some fun and holiday gifts. It's the Game Brain Holiday Gift Extravaganza.
Here we go.
Wow, that was a beautiful jingle.
Oh my God, it was so amazing.
If I forget to make the jingle in post, then that's just going to be so awkward because that could happen.
It's perfect.
Okay, so this holiday, the Game Brain Holiday, what do we want to call this? Extravaganza?
Sure.
Game Brain
Gift Extravaganza.
Gift Extravaganza. The Game Brain Gift Holiday Gift Extravaganza. GBHGE.
Rolls off the tongue, everyone.
Yeah, it's very well branded on our part. So first, let's talk about some recommendations. And I figured, let's think about not so much what's a good big game, what's a big small game.
Yeah.
Let's think about
type of people.
This was inspired by a message I got this morning.
Oh.
Someone messaged me over on my food Substack and said, what are 5 board game recommendations? And I said, for what, whatever. Just she said, for my son, she said things like Scattergories and Tapple and whatever. And I thought, this is probably the best way to approach a gift guide, is to say, people know sort of a certain genre of games that they get a Target or they grew up with, like the Scattergories and the Tapples and the Troubles and the Life and the whatever. So let's build off of people's awareness of games through those and see if we can give recommendations based off of that.
Sure.
So with that in mind,
we're going for it.
Should we just start with the biggest? I know I have it written down in the document in one order, but should we just start with the big one?
I put this in one list. So
okay. Okay. If the person likes Monopoly, what are some gift suggestions?
This is very interesting. This was a hard one for me. This and Scrabble.
This and Scrabble. Okay.
Because Monopoly and Scrabble have this thing where it actually has broad range of ages. If you're 9, you can play Monopoly, and if you're 30, you can play Monopoly. You play differently, but with Scrabble, it reminds me of Dead Poet Society. If you remember Dead Poet Society, there was a beginning in the book, draw a graph of on one axis, here is the poem's execution, and here and the other axis is its significance, and the area between is the poem's greatness. Something like that,
Sure. I never saw it, but I'll trust you on this.
Oh, that's anyway. It's a movie, and so with Scrabble, it requires 2 different axes, where I think is kind of amazing for what it is, and that is the amount of words you need to know. The more words you know, the better, and your ability to come up with words given a scrambled amount of things. Those are two different skill sets.
Okay, so that's for Scrabble, but for Monopoly,
For Monopoly, like it comes down to like it's age agnostic.
okay,
A young kid can play and an old person can play, and they're playing the same game.
mm-hmm.
So for either of them, I got nothing.
Oh, okay.
But because
well, everyone, you've been listening to Game Brain.
That's right. Because those are classics for a reason, in a way. So what I wound up getting for Monopoly was two that are imperfect. One was Wingspan.
Okay.
I think Wingspan has a certain like interaction that like really gets people into this thought of like, oh, here are combo-y type things, and I think like it's proven itself to be really accessible.
Yes.
In a way that like Monopoly is accessible. And the other one is a little harder thing because like Monopoly is about money, and in case you're want money but you want a certain simplicity about it, I would say the estates.
Ooh, that's fun. Yeah, and I think also Monopoly is a bit of a cutthroat game.
Yeah.
And so the estates would match that, and thematically goes with that. So I think those are two really good recommendations. I'm glad you added Wingspan because I did not include it in any of my recommendations. I love Wingspan, but I just didn't feel like it matched. So I'm really glad you brought it up. I was thinking that for Monopoly, well, the first obvious thing is Catan. And the reason why I say Catan is that like with Monopoly, well, first of all, like just in terms of blockbuster quality,
sure.
If like you should have Catan.
Yep.
And if someone's really into Monopoly, Catan is like that game that obviously like blows your mind wide open into like what these games can really be. But also I was thinking about Monopoly. A big part of Monopoly is you just are getting passive income all the time. You're hoping someone lands on your spot. Someone rolls a die, someone lands on your spot, and you get to charge them for rent.
Yeah, and Catan
and so with Catan, it's like those dice roll, and you get shit.
You're not even on your turn.
Yeah, not even on your turn. So it sort of gives you that same positive feedback loop. It's the next evolution of that. But I also feel like we're a board game podcast, and we gotta like try to be more interesting than just Catan.
That's
as
right.
much as I love Catan. So I was thinking in terms of like positive feedback loop. I was thinking Lords of Vegas is a great evolution for it.
I forget it's in my list.
Really?
Yeah,
great. Yeah. Lords of Vegas is a wonder. Whatever it is, Lords of Vegas is just a great gift. It's a super fun, super accessible game that also generates the big oohs and ahs that we talked about with Ito. But the reason why I thought of it for Monopoly, aside from the fact that the game is very capitalistic, that there are moments of like you draw a card and you're hoping your casino is going to pay out some sort of income. And that's always very exciting. And that reminded me a bit of Monopoly. And there's real estate. So there's thematic elements and it seems like a nice evolution. I also thought, strangely enough, Hansa Teutonica.
Hansa, really?
And here is why. Again, Hansa Teutonica has a pretty accessible rule set, although a bad rule book, just so you know. Because with Monopoly, you're hoping that your houses and your hotels are at the right place at the right time for someone else. Like you want to be in someone else's way. You want to like take that spot and be a problem for someone else. And that's kind of like Hansa Teutonica.
Sure.
You want to put your piece down there and you want someone to have to be like, I have to knock you out, and you get the benefit from it.
Mama said knock you out.
I felt like sort of abstractly Hansa Teutonica would be a good one. And it's also like a great game. And I also feel like it's a great game for people who are maybe just dabbling into games. And then my last recommendation for Monopoly, which leans more into the money and capitalism part of it, I thought The Rich and the Good.
Rich and the Good, interesting.
Just because it's a different game, but it's about speculating on commodities. But I felt like it first of all has the vibe of Monopoly. There's a top hat, and
right.
It's like money. It's about money, money and making money, and it's sort of the same time frame. So I thought, and it's very, very accessible. So those are my recommendations.
I think those are all great.
Let's go back to your Scrabble thing.
Yeah.
So what? And did you? Let's do a lump of a few things. Let's do, if someone likes Codenames, Scrabble, or Scattergories, which are all kind of like word games of different vibes.
Like my favorite of those right now in that space is So Clover.
So fun.
So Clover is it basically you have to make clues. People have to guess. What configuration you set up in. It's like,
if someone likes Codenames, So Clover is a good.
Yeah, it's really. I've never had a bad time playing it, and I think one of the things that makes it amazing is that it's super accessible. You get it like that. A new person, if they speak English, you're gonna get it, and then you get quickly to like, oh, this is juicy hard. And that good frustration gets you there immediately. So I think
and it has a toy factor in those giant clovers that you put the things on, which is actually kind of nice.
Yep. That was my answer.
That was your answer. Okay, that's a good answer. I think if you like code,
and just one.
Just one, and So Clover are like those.
Those will do. Get you
I think
far.
the same publisher, or Dimitri calls it Oh So Clover.
Oh So Clover.
He always says, he goes, "Why don't we play Oh So Clover?" And I like that he says Oh So Clover. It's like a commercial.
You know what? It wasn't until I looked up that I didn't realize that it wasn't called Oh So Clover.
Actually, I noticed. I think that all of you, I think it was like you and Dimitri. I don't know, somehow the O got in there.
Yeah.
And I think it's so funny because it really sounds like it's this is Oh So Clover.
Yeah.
It's just So Clover. That's So Clover.
That's so Raven.
Those are also excellent games. I say if you like Codenames, if someone likes Codenames, they will also like / love a game called Landmarks, which came out last year. I believe we played that. It's where you have a treasure map, and there are some words on the treasure map that are hexes, and you have to like lead your team across this treasure map. And the way you lead them across the treasure map is by you want the team to put a hex next to existing hexes, but where does it go amongst those hexes? Well, those hexes all have words on them. And so like if you have a hex that says corn and you have another hex that says dairy and they're next to each other, maybe you put a hex down in between them that says butter. I don't know, because you put butter on corn.
Sure.
Yeah. And so there's more to it than that, but you have the same word association thing that goes on with Codenames, but it's actually now taking place in a sort of a funky geographical way that's very, very fun.
I almost played it. I missed it.
Oh, I thought you played it.
I was there when you bought it. No,
you were there when I bought it, but I thought we actually also played it.
No, I don't. I don't believe I did.
Wow, this is the podcast of all the games that Paul got to either barely play
That's
or
right.
had to leave
the
early.
near misses there. It was so fun, Paul. Just it was so fun.
Tag team and Thunder Alley and Ito.
Yeah, that's right. This is so fun.
But it's a really good word association game. Decrypto, my favorite of all the word games, is great. But really, if you want something that's a newer and fresher, Landmarks is great for the Codenames lover. I think if there's someone who loves Scattergories, I think Ito is a great pick because it's sort of like coming up with concepts.
Ito is my favorite game of the year.
Yeah, Ito is great.
It's got the most miles.
And then for Scrabble, I actually says just one, but actually I think Letter Jam is a great one for a Scrabble lover. Letter Jam is this weird cooperative game that's like harder to pitch than it is to play. It's essentially you have letters in front of you and you don't know what the letters say. And you have letters that you're all you have to know is that you have to come up with words in the game. And you have some letters in your hand and you just have to come up with words.
Great.
And that will help.
Love it.
That's it's like it scratches that. If someone enjoys the act of coming up with words, then Letter Jam has that in it. And right off the top of my head, also Hooky. Hooky has, especially if you're a Wordle fan, if you're a Scrabble Wordle fan, if you love to come up with words, Hooky is a deduction game where you come up with 5-letter words, and it's like Wordle meets Mastermind, which was funny because Wordle's already kind of Mastermind, but it's great word games.
I would say there's another word game that I was going to use for a different category, but since we're doing this, it's like the negative version, like the what do you call it, not the bad version, but like the negative. Anyway, Gibberers.
Gibberers is great. The thing is that Gibberers is like very difficult to find. If you can find Gibberers, that would be great for someone who loves wordplay.
Like basically, you're creating your own language. The table is creating its own language, and if it's interesting on how the words come up and how quickly people wind up using the language that you create. It's sort of crazy.
Well, if we're gonna go really crazy with the word game, and this one's brand new, I'm gonna look it up because we played this also after you left on Wednesday.
Love it.
There's this tiny game that Candace busted out called Jibber Jabble.
Jibber Jabber,
which is not to be confused with
just so you know, we are not making this up. These are actual games.
These are real games. Jibber Jabble. I want to procure a copy of this. I don't know where to get it. You could probably just take the cards from just one and do this. So here's the concept. You have someone holds up a card in front of you, sort of like with just one, how there's a card in front of you and you don't know what the words are. Everyone at the table knows what word is your word.
Yeah.
And the table can give you 3 clues as to what your word is. But here's what's tricky is that the clues have to be spelled out letter by everyone at the table. So, meaning in the game I played the other night, I think I had I think my word was jungle and I didn't know. So then the person to the left of me has to start the clue and she goes T. And the next person, she's thinking in her mind, tiger. That's the clue she's going to give me. But the next person has no idea.
Oh.
So the next person goes, A?
It's like,
so I'm like, T-A. And then the third person's like, I think I know what the first person's doing. So they go back to the T. And then the next person goes, R. And so now I'm at Tatra. If everyone's on the same wavelength on what the clue is,
it's like almost telephone.
It's like that, yeah. If everyone's on the same wavelength, they spell out communally tiger. But if they're not, it goes crazy. And then if someone says like, okay, I think we've got the first clue done, they say stop and they start the next word. Huh. And so it's so simple and so stupid. And so much laughter. Half the people at the table were like, this is not a game. And this is not only is it not a game, this is like a nightmare. Yeah. Why are you making me do this? And the other half of us were like, this is the best thing we played in months.
Hilarious. Okay, great.
That's a good. So Jibber Jabble, I recommend getting it, but to support designers, but you can just make it at home with just one.
Love it.
What about Paul? If it's let's say if you just don't know what someone likes, you just are like, I want to get them a game. I have no idea what they like. What are some good kind of, good game gifts that you think will sort of catch all game gifts?
So, my first thought for this, because you want to have games. I picked 2. One of them is a very obvious one. One of them might not be. One is Avalon. Okay. I think Avalon is a low investment game. Mm-hmm. So if they don't like it, they don't like games. Well, fine. If they don't like talking to people, well, fine.
Yeah.
If they don't like lying,
they don't like lying.
Fine.
Yeah. That's usually gonna be the biggest issue.
But the one where I go like, oh, here's a game that I think you just be soulless if you didn't like is what's it called? The pickup, Gibraltar.
Gibraltar! What a good call.
Gibraltar, yeah.
That's such a great gift.
Yeah, like there's you have to be dead to not like that game.
Yeah, but also like that is the quintessential. Like that's later on. I'm gonna ask about stocking stuffers. Yep. That's also a perfect stocking stuffer. Mm-hmm. Like that one is a great gift idea. Yeah. Great choice. I said for games, if you don't really know what they like, I sort of leaned a little bit into some dexterity things like Ice Cool.
Okay, I know that one.
It's a dexterity game where you have these little penguins and you're flicking them through like an icy high school.
Yeah, sure.
I say get Ice Cool. I say get Ice Cool and Ice Cool too, because then you can put them. The reason why is you can put them together and then 8 players can play, not just 4. But it's a dexterity game that like on the the way when you look at it, it looks like it's kind of made for kids, but like I've seen full-on adults just losing their mind over it. It's so fun, and so I have them both. That's right there.
Oh, great! Well,
Ice Cool and Ice Cool too.
Well,
they're super fun dexterity games, and they're great for kids and adults.
Yep.
And like and there's like some gaminess to it. Also, Minara. Do you remember Minara?
I don't.
Minara is a game. It's a stacking game, and like.
Oh yes, it's the weird shapes.
Yeah, you're stacking really weird shapes, and you're building up higher, and it has increasing difficulty, and the whole fun of the game is that you have these really like chaotic shaped things that are not good for building sky rises.
Imagine making a house of cards. Okay, great. Now imagine those cards are shattered pieces of a plate.
Yes, they all look like shattered pieces of a plate that you have to like balance, and you have to do crazy things. And it's a really, really fun, intense game. And also the structure that you build, at least
you take a picture.
It looks amazing. It's very Instagrammable.
Take it before you
collapses.
put the piece because like one will collapse. And anyway,
not to shame you, Paul, but last time we played, you were the one who collapsed the tower.
I am a person hard to shame, but I'm sure with all our people, listening and like now seeing, they're like, oh, well, that asshole Paul, he's a shatterer.
Yeah, and then I think a really good gift for someone who might want something like a little bit more gamey, but is also very accessible. There's a new edition that came out, I think last year, is Ethnos.
Okay.
Ethnos is a really fun game, and it's very modular. There are all these like mythical fairy tale type creatures that you play with, but you only play with certain combos, so you can like every game's gonna have a different vibe to it, and very simple rules, very fun. I played that with people of different skill levels, and the new edition looks great. If I didn't have my drab old edition, maybe I would get the new edition. But Ethnos would be a really fun game. Okay. You can pick it up as easily as Ticket to Ride.
Great.
And one I always recommend to people. Everyone always asks me, and I always recommend it because it's my number one game. I always recommend Concordia, which is it's a tougher sell. It's kind of it's like I want to challenge people a little bit. The rules are not hard, but it's dry and it's more board gamey.
It's definitely a board game. Yeah,
but I feel like why not? Why not get someone and they'll look at it and be like, what the hell is this? And
I would just say, well, it's just TI4.
Yeah, TI4.
That's right. Why not?
I mean, that actually is a really good gift because that's expensive.
It's an expensive gift. I don't know. You give it to like a 5-year-old. I don't know that.
What about a game where you give them a game for the holidays, but you also give it to them hoping that they say, let's play this right now so you can play it?
There is only one game that I have, and there's only one right answer. That is Hot Streak.
Yeah! Me too. High five.
That's the only right answer.
Hot Streak.
That's the only right
100%.
answer.
100%. Hot Streak, like, probably actually, I would say that is, if you had to choose one game out of all of these, that's probably the game to get.
Yeah.
Because it has the big toy factor, plays a lot of people. It's so fun. But that's the one that, like, you're like, well, you want to play it now?
Like basically, you play Hot Streak and Ito. Those are the two games you need to get.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, we could do a top threes. I just threw in Not Alone. Because,
okay. Sure.
Because that's a fun one to bust out. I think if people, Not Alone plays up to 7, so that'd be a fun one to give to someone and then start playing immediately with everyone. I think they'll have a good time. Hot Streak is really where it's at, though.
Yeah, Hot Streak, because it comes down to rules to joy.
Yeah.
The rules of joy's time frame is so small. It's it's just there. It's basically you bring it out, you see the racers, you're like, oh, I love this already. And then by the time you get all the rules and by the time the first card goes down, you're already in it. Like there's no foreplay. You go straight to the joy. Yeah,
Not Alone is actually probably not. It probably is just Hot Streak. Not Alone could go in a different category. Not Alone can go in if you don't know what they like. Get them Not Alone because actually it's better for that one because my experience is that Not Alone has always worked.
Yeah.
Like I played it with people who do not like that, like don't care about sci-fi, whatever. It always works.
Yeah.
So I'd say Not Alone. But Hot Streak, yes. If you want to play a game right after they open it, and you can make an argument for Ice Cool too, but Hot Streak is the one. Okay. What about a game if you want to inch someone toward the hobby? And I'm not necessarily saying it has to be a gateway game, but you just want to get people curious about what our little hobby has to offer.
Interesting. So, I'm gonna take it out of the realm of things like party games, like Wavelengths and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I actually have 2 answers here, and I to basically go, if they play this game, they go if they don't like this, they don't like games. Or whatever. And I think it would surprise you. The 2 I chose were Franchise.
Me too.
Oh, look at that. But here's the one that's going to surprise you: Cargo Empire.
Whoa.
Oh. Yeah, that random game.
That's a good choice, actually. Yeah, that's actually a really good choice. Very simple rules.
I realized that when we're playing we played twice. one with Dimitri, and I go and I was watching how Dimitri kicked my ass.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, he's just approaching it with oh, here's the rules. I'm just churning through, and every little bit is giving him a Scooby snack, in a way that he doesn't have to think too much about the Scooby snack. And I was like, oh, this is a high dopamine game. And when we played it at Geeky Teas, I was like, oh, this really scales, in a way that that wasn't just a random thing. It was like, oh, people can access this because the rule set is not too heavy, but you get the interaction quickly, and the game is not too long.
I think that's actually a really good call. I think it's it's just a game that's not on anyone's radar whatsoever, and I would love to revisit it. Maybe once sort of the new 2025 games, we're done sort of we've gone through the wave of reviewing them. I would love to do a review of Cargo Empire because there's a lot more to it and it's worthwhile. I think if you want to inch someone towards the hobby, I said franchise. I think Fromage is a good one because it's a quick game. You all do it together. It's pretty simple stuff and it's got an engaging theme, the delicious theme. I think Moon Colony Bloodbath would be a good one because
even with
you, because it's very funny.
Yes.
It's 45 minutes or so, and it's sort of all simultaneous, so people can help other people through it, and most people have a really fun time with it because it is sort of just a romp. It's kind of a
sometimes
satirical.
we get yelled at for not we getting into the moment.
Sometimes if you were not providing enough thematic, whatever. And then the last one, because I've used this before to inch people towards it, and it's worked, is Railways of the World.
Railways of the World is great. I love Railways of the World. Yeah.
It's got a little bit of the toy factor with the trains. It's an excellent game. There's whenever I bring up Railways of the World, or just sometimes it happens naturally. There's sometimes a little debate over Age of Steam and Railways of the World, and some people say, well, Railways of the World is the inferior beast, whatever, because Age of Steam has that. Who cares? They're it's 95% of the same DNA, and everyone who knows Age of Steam knows that DNA is awesome. And if Railways of the World is going to be the one that's going to get people into it a little bit more smoothly or whatever, then so be it. It's such a great game.
I would say Age of Steam is like dark chocolate and Railways like milk chocolate.
That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to get someone a party game.
Right now, Ito's on my mind.
Ito's a great one. I think Magical Athlete. I only played it one time, but I think that's a good one because it's a high player count and the rules are here's your racer. This racer says when you're on the same spot as this person, that whatever happens. So it's very accessible. Just start up. Flip 7. Soda Smugglers. I love, and then Hollywood 1947.
Hollywood, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it plays up to 10 players.
What was that? I kept looking for it. It's gone now. We talked about it. Just one.
Oh, just one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The good thing, by the way, with Hollywood 1947 is that I find that sometimes people who don't love to lie feel slightly more comfortable lying with Hollywood 1947. I don't know why. There's something about the theme.
It's Hollywood, baby.
It's I don't know. It's not as especially it's not as it's not as vicious as a Secret Hitler.
Sure.
And then finally, let's talk about stocking stuffers. So small little games to get for people.
One of my favorite probably of what I'm saying is probably Cat in a Box.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
fun.
The reason why because it's like a deck of cards. It's a little small box kind of thing, but the game density, the fun density from that deck of cards. It's you're oh, this is a lot. It's surprising.
Yeah, it does a lot.
And along those lines, Schadenfreude.
If you can get that, that's also difficult to get, but that would also be a good one. Obviously, like most card games, I put down Spicy, which is the game I've been loving over the past few months. No Thanks is a classic. Ito goes for everything. Ito, Drapolter, of course, Tag Team.
I think
Tag Team's. I think it's
a bigger box. Is it
just barely?
Is it gonna fit a stocking?
I think it fits in a stocking.
Okay,
just
great.
barely. But I think Tag Team is actually so that's so gifty because it's very cartoony.
Sure.
So especially if you have a kid, I think it'll be very
this would be
appealing.
if you were to play with a kid who liked fight this would be,
card battling or I don't know if it will appeal to a kid who's into Magic because Magic may be more sophisticated, but
more Pokemon.
Yeah, I've never played Pokemon, but probably like that. But it's I think that definitely would be a really good one. Yeah, these are great games. I love how like Ito is like every category. I think but hot streak is the one. Like if you have to get just one gift,
yes,
it's gonna be hot streak, right?
It's high joy.
Hot streak, then Ito are like the two games to get. So now you got the games, and the family wants to get together. And even if you don't have these games, you just have some games, and it's time. People are like, let's play a game. We're like, hey, Paul, Uncle Paul, you always play games. Like, teach us. Like, let's play a game. Now, you know it's a trap, right? The moment that family members say, we want to learn a game, it's a trap. Because no one really wants to learn a game. They say they want to, but then like as soon as you start, it's like, there's a lot of rules. Whoa, this game has so many rules. Whoa, how did people even play these games? I've never heard of so many rules before. Like what? And like, why don't we play something that's a little easier, right? Am I right? How do you do it? How should we teach people these games?
Like, first of all, like you go like, oh, you know, I'm sorry. I thought like you had the capacity of a 5-year-old to understand rules, but not for shame. Yeah. Shame is always the first and most necessary one. But let's say you're a shame-free household. Like, I think ultimately, like, what I wind up doing is doing a test round. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, it's like don't worry about the rules. We're like, you know, I'm going for, and then we're going to do one round, and you're going to see what it is, and then we're going to play. Yeah, that's what I generally do for a game that can do that. But like, I think ultimately, I have found that a lot of times people wind up fearing that like I don't know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to figure it out mid game, and I've already lost. And so like if I remove that hurdle of like here's this test, like we just so people get the flow of it. And then we go like, oh, okay, you know. Yeah. And, you know, it's always going to be a guy who goes, oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's always that one person who's like, I learn better just by playing. So just by play. And like, I understand there are people who like, well, a lot of times, a lot of us, the rules don't really solidify until we start playing. Yep. But there's some people who are like, don't tell me any rules. I just want to play. And those people always wind up in the worst position because they wind up in jail. Well, because these games have like more rules than they really anticipate, and it's not as easy as just being like you'll learn it on the fly. And so I feel like there's some element of having to like honor their requests, but secretly not totally honor it and be like, yes, we'll totally play. First, let me just give you some foundational things, you know.
So that sounds like, you know, passive aggressively you say, shut up, listen.
Shut up. Yeah. I mean, it's hard though. It really is hard because people are very impatient. They would just want to jump into the game, and they don't. I think like people who are in the hobby, you know, they sort of know the rules is something we have to all go through, and we sit there patiently and listen and focus. But people who are not are just kind of like, they're used to games that are like a game like Monopoly. You can just start playing it, and like you don't know the rules, but the consequences aren't like that. It's like there's not a huge strategic arc you have to worry about too much. So it's kind of like, okay, I landed on the spot. What do I do now? Do you want to buy it? Do you not want to buy it? You know,
this is why you buy Hot Streak.
Hot Streak, yeah,
because you solve that problem. Another way to do it, and it's per your birthday, is like get people who are interested. Like let's say you're at a big gathering, and teach those people how to play, right? And then have someone look in and go like, oh. Get that curiosity.
And that's why I was so excited that group started, because those were gamers, and I knew they would have the patience to learn. And I knew once they were getting excited over it, then that would give people enough buy-in or enough FOMO that they'd be willing to sit and listen to the rules. And the thing is, what's hard is if you are the one selling a moment of like, let's play a game, like you're not just trying to teach people a game, you're trying to achieve buy-in with people who might not have buy-in, and there's like a ticking clock, and you know when that clock hits zero, they've given up and they've stopped listening, right? And then it's not, and then they'll play the game, but their heart's not in it anymore, and then it's flat, and then it sucks, and then no one's like, then anytime afterwards when you say let's play a game, they say maybe let's
I don't like games.
Watch a video. Yeah,
I like games. Okay, yeah.
I think the practice round is what you have to do, because like the buy-in window is so small. Yeah, it's so small with non-gamers. Yeah. You know,
100%.
And you have to get your allies.
Yeah, no, right? It's a weird thing where, how should I say in the best way? Like people are remarkably precious with their spare time, like, you know, in like, let's say at a Christmas party or whatever, and the 5 minutes that they would have done basically doing nothing, like sipping eggnog, asking them to spend 5 minutes of paying attention, that would be, it seems like you're like, oh my god, I'm asking you to borrow $100,000 or something like that. Mm-hmm. It seems so weird, like, you're like, oh, I'm drinking my eggnog, like, shut up.
Yeah. I think you're right though, that like if I'm teaching a game to gamers, I'm almost always just going to go through the rules, with the exceptions 18xx, where I do sort of like guide through. But I think with these games, you want to get to the pushing and the pulling of levers, even if they don't fully understand it. And like, I think we as teachers have to be okay with like tutorial sessions where it's like, okay, now you try that thing. Let's start from the beginning, and then we're going to layer in this or whatever. Actually, Tom does a really good thing with Teach You.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
We already do three
practice rounds.
3 practice rounds, and each round he layers in more elements of it. And I think that's probably the way to go with some of these games.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, like especially with Edo, you start simple, and then once people get it, then you're good to go. But like, yeah, it's tricky. I think the key is, I think you have to express a lot of enthusiasm. Also, you have to make people feel like this is gonna be really, really fun, and you have to get to the nuts and bolts of it sooner than you would normally.
I think there's a real skill in teaching, like, of course, but like, I think ultimately,
I was gonna say something else, but
but like, ultimately, set up the expectation of the vibe.
Yeah, and start with broad strokes. You should do this anyway when you're teaching. You start with a bird's eye view of like, this is what this game is gonna be about. Don't start with the specifics. Don't start with like, okay, so if you go over here, you get this. Just start with like, we're gonna be doing this. We're gonna just follow me, and we're gonna have a fun time, and just like lean into enthusiasm and get people playing and moving, even if they don't know all the rules yet, if all the rules have not come to the fore yet, and hope for the best. Yeah. But with that being said, we are out of time. Because guess what? Like half the games we talked about, you have to go. You're a busy man.
Apparently, like, you know, like at the end of the year, people want me for things.
That's okay. Thank you, Paul, for being here, and everyone, thank you for also being here and listening to Game Brain. Don't forget to not only watch but to subscribe to us on YouTube, Game Brain Pod, and then also on Instagram, and then also check out Table Scraps, which is my channel, and I'm at Ben Mandliker on Instagram. I don't know if you want to promote your social media or not.
I'm Paul.
It's just Paul. Thanks everyone for being here. And go play some games with friends, or find some friends with games, or the other way around.
And isn't that like great Christmas music? Amazing Guys.
Oh, beautiful.